Grown man business, priceless experiences, Napa Valley, Bron tasting, spoiling my women friends, sitting at the table with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed. Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Let me see. Oh man. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's popping? What's good, everyone? How are you? How are you? We back at it. As you know how we begin. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. If you can see me, press 1, and if 1 second. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Coin Gang, the #1 home for personal development, the place where you come in ordinary and you leave extraordinary. This is where you come in thinking one way and you leave thinking another way, and the way that you leave benefits you and it benefits everybody around you, right? People look at you, be like, wow, man, wow, you are a different person. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's here today, man. We got a great conversation today. You know that this is a safe space for everybody with that out the box philosophy. You also know that this is abstract ministry. This is not ministry for everybody, okay? This is abstract ministry for those that have an out the box philosophy. It's specific, right? What we do here is not for everybody, right? We have our own community. You know what I'm saying? We have our own community and we do our thing. You feel me? So we clear on that, right? Because some people come in and they don't understand what we do here, right? We don't care about stats and talking points, right? We care about growth. We care about personal development. We care about being the tallest tree in the forest, okay? So this is that abstract ministry, and I'm your homeboy, Ken Billy. If this is your first time here, welcome. And of course, salute to the Coin Gang fam that hold it down. And I always brag and gloat. I believe that the smartest people on the internet follow me. I'm sorry, man. That's just my personal belief. I personally believe that I have the sharpest men and women that follow me. I believe that, right? So salute to you. If you have babies, keep them close to you. Keep them close to your heart. I got a 13-year-old and I'm looking at him. He's damn near taller than me. And I'm like, woof. And I get baby fever and I'm like, no. I want the baby. I don't want the teenager. Right? But man, love your babies. Keep them close, man. And walk with your babies through this entire life. Walk with your babies through this entire life, man. Please. And if you got somebody in your life, you're in a relationship, a spouse, be patient with them. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to be loved. Don't treat them bad. Don't push them away. Don't treat them like a punching bag to make them prove themselves to you. Nah. If you're on Facebook, make sure below you get your supporter badges. If you're on YouTube, you can become a member. Super Chat is your friend. The Cash App is your friend. Today, we have a triggering conversation. It's triggering to some and educational to others. It's triggering to some, this conversation, and educated and it's going to be educational to others. And I'm going to dial in. We're going to do some reading today. This is one of those college builds, right? This is one of those right? So it's triggering for some and educational for others, and it's going to be a confirmation for others, right? So it's going to go a few ways. But what we're going to talk about today is the women that men create. Women that men create. Yes. The women that men create. You know, femininity? Yeah, men created that. That doesn't come from women. That comes from men. Women didn't tell their story. Men told the story for women. You know, don't do that. Men said don't do that. You know, ladylike, men said don't do that. This is how it's very easy for a man to transition to a woman just like that. Why? Because he has what he considers female nature in his head. He doesn't actually deal with female nature. Men create female nature and apply it to the female species and then say, behave like that. We're also going to talk about men oftentimes love the thing that they hate. You know, hoes. Men hate hoes and love hoes at the same time. It's a very interesting relationship, right? Men hate hoes, hate them, but they love them, but they hate them, but they love them. And I want to ask the question, are women human? Are women human? We're going to talk about understanding power, and we're going to talk about the feminine economy. Feminine economy, or the feminine finesse. And the reason why we're doing this build today is because things aren't balanced. This is not about anyone's ego. This is not pander, because we're going to go to the research, right? It's about balance. I believe the male at a certain point should initiate himself to get off mama's titty. But at the same time, there is a destruction of mama. And that's not a good look. It's an imbalance. And this imbalance also has an effect on the male. So this is not an elevation of the female and putting the male down, or vice versa. Because I don't give a damn. I come with bars and people feel how they feel, right? That's what we do over here. Our topic for today is the dark side of women. Glamour, seduction, and sex. Did you hear what we're talking about today? Did you hear our build? The dark side of women. Glamour, seduction, and sex. So I like to shout out to everybody that super chat. Shout out to the people already that understand the assignment within the first 10 minutes. Cash App, I'm going to stay dialed in. So I appreciate you, but this is one of those builds where I got to stay laser focused. Just know that I see you and I appreciate you, and none of this happens without you. Today's build is the dark side of women, glamour, seduction, and sex. Now, where we're going to start at is history, herstory. History and her story. The reality that I was born in was history, not her story, right? Even women are unaware of her story. Women subscribe to history, right? They like history because it allows them to be lazy and rest in their femininity while everything in life is working. The human female wants to rest. Well, you can. Just know that history will never remember your name. But that's an interesting thing because no woman in the history of mankind was ever resting. So we're in a different time period, right? But the women benefit from history. But the reason she's allowed to benefit from history is because she's able to seduce the male. We're going to talk about that later because the male doesn't understand the different types of power. He looks at only physical power. He doesn't know that what the female does to him is a form of power. Huh? But we're going to talk about history. History is our religions, our Abrahamic religion. So you've heard me talk about this before. This is astrotheology. Astrotheology. Now we could go over a second for those that are new to this. Astrotheology is us creating religions based on events that happen in the cosmos. So Christianity is a sun religion. You go to church on Sunday. Jesus Christ is sun worship. You know, the resurrection story. That's the winter solstice when the sun goes to a low point and for 3 days it rises on the third day. Islam is a moon religion, right? Judaism is a stellar religion, or what we call Saturn. This is astrotheology. 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples, 12 constellations, right? Everything that goes on in the heavens, man created a religion out of it, right? And we argue back to we want to know if the people are real, right? But these religions are based on history, though, right? It's astrotheology, but it's attached to phallic worship. It's astrotheology, but it's attached to phallic worship. You see the obelisk right there? I used to go there often to do rituals when I lived in DC. I believe it's 555 feet, if I'm not mistaken. No building in DC is allowed to be taller than that obelisk. But that is a penis right there. And then it has some interesting geometry surrounding it. We're not going to go into that geometry. We're going to focus on the penis. That right there is a penis. It is based on the male phallic. This is phallic worship. The phallic symbol is the achievement of man. The phallic image is rooted in architectural history. Skyscrapers symbolize the dominance of the natural world. Now, the phallic symbol, the symbol of it, we can go back to ancient Egypt, but that's another conversation. You know, all set sitting on the penis, blah, blah, blah. Right? Your whole Christ story has a lot to do with Egyptian mythology. Just for those that are curious about that. If you're curious and you're in student mode, you want to see the connection of Jesus and Horus. And then go a step further and see Jesus and Mithra and see what Mithraism is. But that's another story. But if you're curious about a book on phallic worship, here one goes. Or here goes one, excuse me. Right? So because of phallic worship, we see the world one way. Right? Everything is male. God is a male. Even the devil is a male. The sun is a male. There's no women in the picture at all. In our standard King James book of the Bible, 66 book, 800,000 words, there's no book that women wrote. Why? That's very interesting. How come no women contributed to writing any books of the Bible? But the Bible talks often about women and women's sexual behavior and how women should be submissive to their husbands. We never asked the women what they thought about that. How come there's no books written by women? But we see women play an important role in society. So why are they missing from the Bible? Right? Even though the Jesus of the Bible has to come through a woman to be here, the woman has no contribution to nothing in the Bible. Therefore, we see the world only through the male gaze. That even has a terrible effect on men. Male God, the devil is a male head of household, fine, cool. Now, has it always been like that, though? Because just because something is normal, it doesn't mean it's natural. And I was born in 1983 to a world that was always created. So it's easy to think that what I'm looking at is how the world always has been. But is that true, though? Even if it benefits you, is it true? So even the Bible is history. In the beginning was Adam first. In the New Testament, it's about Paul and his letters to the church. It's about Jesus. It's all about the prophets. Where are the women? Why are the women missing from the story? That's history. Phallic worship. Allah, Jehovah. Why are they all dudes? Right? But in nature, nature represents itself male and female, right? But when it comes to the supernatural, there's no woman, right? Whatever is going on in the natural world wouldn't the same rules apply in the supernatural world. So where is the woman? So that's history. This right here is history. Phallic worship. This right here is history. This right here is herstory. You ever seen this symbol before? This is herstory. This is called the Venus of Willendorf. This is between 25 and 28,000 years old. This is herstory. They had reverence for fertility. They elevated the woman. They created art of women in their natural form. They did not look down on women's sexuality. You never seen this, huh? This is called her story, right? This is called her story. You see the image naked again. This is Venus of Willendorf. This is between 35 and 40,000 years old. Another image of the woman naked, right? Representing fertility. They elevated the woman 40,000 years ago. What happened? What happened? Because the woman is missing from the Bible and she's missing from the Quran. She's missing from all Abrahamic religions. The woman in the Bible is basically the nigger. She is under the male, but she was not under the male 40,000 years ago. So what happened? This is her story. This is history. This is what we know. This is her story. This is her story. Another one. Venus of Danji. This is between 25 and 29,000 years old. Another image of the woman naked, right? There was no such thing as a thought, right? And if you see that the woman's her breasts are hanging low, that symbolizes that childbirth, right? She was revered for her sexuality. They didn't run and tell the woman you need to put your clothes on. You need to respect yourself. That's new. That's based on history. Herstory, they told the woman to take the clothes off. History, they told a woman to put the clothes on. Very, very, very interesting, huh? Women were never looked down upon 40,000 years ago. I know that's a hell of a long time, right? That's a long time. But what happened? Y'all know the difference between history and her story? All right. What happened? Am I pandering? I mean, that art speaks for itself, though. That art was here before talking points. I'm just saying. Wait a minute. What happened? Why is the woman missing from the Bible? What happened to her contribution? Have you ever heard this? God has been a woman since the beginning of time? Blasphemy. I know. I know what it sounds like, because you can't see past history, which I understand, because history is based on your own survival. Because as a man, what would your reality look like if the truth was made known and everything that you believed to be true wasn't actually true, but they're lies to hold society together? See, I know when I present something like this, many males would say, you know, or scarcity takes over. But trust me, you have a place in this, though. This is not this doesn't dissolve you. This doesn't make you weaker. The truth, this is the truth. Because we need to find out why the woman is missing from the Bible. What the hell happened? Now, I said we're going to do some reading today, right? This is Coin Gang University. And my name is Ken Billions. Start calling me Ken Body Bag. God has been a woman since the beginning of time. God is a woman. The single on Ariana Grande's new album is a reminder that archaeologists believe God was considered female for the first 200,000 years of human life. That's a hell of a long time. On July 13th, 2018, Ariana Grande declared in a 4-octave vocal range, when it's all said and done, you'll believe God is a woman, right? From the pool of an iridescent paint resembling the female anatomy to the shot of the pop star suggestively straddling a globe, every candy colored scene in the accompanying music video delivered a heaven-sent message. It's a woman's world, and accordingly, the internet erupted in a feminist applause. In the context of theological history, though, it is actually remarkable that Grande's assertion would make such a splash in 2018. True, female gods have been considered heretical in many cultures for millennia, and the suggestion that God is anything other than an old white man in the sky is for some still a deeply troubling thought. The creation of Adam's depiction both God and the first man was a black woman, for proof that daring to widen religious imagery can cause serious uproar. To talk about a remake of a Michelangelo picture. But if we travel back to the ancient origins of human civilization, we find evidence that female deities were worshipped far and wide for millennia, long before the main world religions were established. During the earliest periods of human development, many belief systems venerated a supreme female creator. Again, let's go back to this right here. This stuff is 30,000 years old. Now, if this stuff didn't have truth in it, why is it hidden from the public? Why doesn't the public know this? So there must be some empowering aspects of it, right? If this was false, it would be made known to the public, right? Because a lie is something that everything knows. But why has no one seen this? Children haven't seen this. Men, women haven't seen these images right here, right? This is 40,000 years old, right? And there's no perversion when these images was created. There was reverence for the woman naked and fertility, right? Don't be triggered. In her groundbreaking book, When God Was a Woman, historian Marilyn Stone traces ancient worship of goddess back to the Paleolithic and Neolithic ages. You hear me use that term Neolithic a lot. In the Near and Middle East, she writes, we can find evidence that the development of the religion of the female deity in this area was intertwined with the earliest beginnings of religion so far discovered anywhere on earth. This goddess was unquestionably the supreme deity to rule them all, creator and lawmaker of the universe, prophetess, provider of human destinies, inventor, healer, hunter, and valiant leader in battle. Interesting. It is worth noting that many anthropologists believe these upper Paleolithic societies are likely to have followed a matrilineal structure, meaning women held supreme status at the center of the household. Stone explains that these communities revered ancestor worship, whereby the concept of the creator of All human life may have been formulated by the clan's image of the woman who had been their most ancient primal ancestor. In other words, the divine ancestress. Indeed, anthropologists studying the rites and rituals of the Paleolithic communities over the last 2,000 years have discovered countless stone figurines of pregnant women across Europe, the Middle East, and India, some dating back 25,000 BC, that point to the worship of the divine feminine. I just showed you those images. That's a picture with Isis. That's Isis with Horus, the child. That child is also Jesus in Christianity, by the way. Okay. During this period in the ancient world, worship of female deities was widespread and immensely powerful. But it was with the advent of agriculture after the Paleolithic age that goddess worship really started to take off. Statuettes from that period representing the mother goddess have cropped up in Canaan, now Palestine/Israel, Turkey, and goddess figurines have appeared all over Neolithic communities of Egypt dating back 4,000 BC. These deifications of the goddess in the ancient world were variations of a theme, writes Lynn Rogers and Edgar Casey and the Eternal Feminine, which representation of a supreme female creator in Sumer, Egypt, Crete, Greece, Ethiopia, Libya, India, Elam, Babylon, Anatolia, Canaan, Ireland, Mesopotamia, and even ancient Judah and Israel. But there could be no doubt that she was a mythologist. There could be no doubt that she was, as mythologist Robert Graves describes it, immortal, changeless, omnipotent. In her book, Mother God, Sylvia Brown offers a detailed history of the female principle that flourished after the Paleolithic period. The Inuit people had Sedna, the goddess of the sea and mother of the ocean, while the Assyrian and Babylon cultures worship Ishtar. Ishtar is also represented in the Statue of Liberty, by the way. That image of Statue of Liberty in New York, that's Ishtar. The goddess of love, and worship Ishtar, the goddess of love. In Aztec culture, Telonian was considered the mother of the gods. According to ancient Egyptians, Isis was the goddess of children and magic, while in ancient Sumer, the primary goddess was Iana, the goddess of love and war. Meanwhile, the ancient Phoenicians actually had two female goddesses of equal status, Anat, the fertility goddess, and Astarte, the mother goddess considered to be the planet Venus. Creators of the universe, bearers of children, providers of culture, valiant warriors, and wise counselors. The goddesses were anything an afterthought. Naked again. When women rise to prominence, misogyny ensues, and by 1500 BC, goddess worshiping civilizations had mostly fallen from grace. Scholarship differs in analysis of why, but many experts assert that the dominant masculine religions and patrilineal customs brought to Europe by invading Indo-Europeans seriously upset the state of play. The suppression that followed makes for bleak reading. At the dawn of Western civilization, writes Rogers, 25,000 years of her story of goddess bountiful creativity were obliterated. Yo, you hear that? 25,000 years of history. That's a lot. That's a lot. 25,000 years of history was obliterated. Creation myths were rewritten, symbols of goddess worship were degenerated, and the ancient belief that belief in the goddess as the ground of being the universe. Creation myths were rewritten, symbols of goddess worship were degenerated, and the ancient belief in the goddess as the ground of being, the universe from which all emerged, was overturned. As Judaism, Christianity, and Islam evolved in the Middle East and Europe, the monotheistic religions began to cement the worship of a new, exclusively male order: God, priests, king, and father. These new theology placed the goddess in a subordinate status, with a man as her dominant husband, with the man as her dominant husband, and even as her murderer. In her book, Stone writes at length about the erasure of female deities, arguing that at the time, goddess worship became the victim of centuries of continual persecution and suppression by the advocates of the newer religions, which held male deities as supreme. Worse yet, this major about turn in religion meant the status of women around the world declined. Not all religions that followed in the wake of goddess worship obscured the female deity, though. In The Path of the Mother, Sutrivi Best points out that Hindus have never stopped worshiping the mother who has been obscured in the shadow of Western religions for thousands of years, she writes, is considered to be the sum total of the energy in the universe. From Durga, the fearless goddess who vanquished her foes atop a tiger, the Sarwasti, the four-armed guardian deity of knowledge, the vast spectrum of venerated Hindu goddess highlighted the power of the feminine principle, none more so than Shakti, the divine force sometimes called the Great Mother. There are multiple expressions of Shakti, Best notes, though her cosmic energy is entirely responsible for the creation of the universe. She is known to be the activity in all things, the great power that creates and destroys, the primordial essence, the womb from which all things proceed and to which all things return. It's an image of her. Buddhism too celebrates the feminine principle by way of the Bhagavista Ganjin, whose name means the one who hears and sees the cries of the world with beauty, grace, and boundless compassion for the suffering of humanity. It has been said that Yin's greatest significance is the outpourings or embodiment of the divine feminine. As the major world religions evolved over thousands of years, however, the supreme female deities increasingly faded from view, while around 27 BT, the first emperor of Rome gave the goddess Sybil the title of Supreme Mother of Rome. By 500 AD, attitude towards female gods couldn't have been more different. The last goddess temples in Rome and Byzantine were closed by the Christian emperors, and the so-called polytheistic pagan religions were driven out of worship, taking the female deities with them. Image right there. Today, instead of a history of the ancient female religions that were celebrated for thousands of years, we are most familiar with the creation story of Adam and Eve and their expulsion from Eden, courtesy of Eve, making her, responsible for the downfall of mankind from paradise. As for the supreme female deity, the Old Testament does not even have a word for goddess, writes Stone. In the Bible, the goddess is referred to as Elohim, in the masculine gender, to be translated as God. But the Quran of the Muhammadan was quite clear. Allah will not tolerate the idolatry. The pagans pray to females. Some might say the disappearance of the goddess occurred naturally with the march of modern civilization, but as many historians and theologians have pointed out, it is likely no coincidence that the patriarchal cultures that conquered early indigenous populations are fundamentally intertwined with the downfall of the goddess and the reframing of this revered form of worship as cultic, lewd, and primitive. I just asked the question, why is the woman missing from the Bible? Shout out to everybody in the chat that stays when we read. You got to understand, the internet is entertainment based. Not many people stay for people that read. But we're going to read today, though, right? This is for your daughters and your sons, right? This is not a pander. This is real shit. Why is a woman missing from the Bible? I know some people might find that hard to accept, that the world, there was a different world before this one, and people did different things, right? And the woman wasn't missing from the story. She contributed to the story. Why is a woman missing from the Bible? Why is a woman missing from the Quran? And is the woman missing from these world religions? Is that playing a role to how the world looks? Now we're going to get into Lilith later. But the Lilith energy is a result of the woman missing from the story. When something is not balanced, things will tend to balance itself with time, but it's going to be an ugly process to be balanced, right? Herstory. This stuff is 40,000 years old. 40,000. That is a very, 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 very long time. And many people don't know that, right? Herstory. Okay. Do men create women, though? How is that possible? How is it possible for a man to create the women? Well, it's very possible when women are missing from the story and women aren't writing their own narratives and women aren't in charge of female nature. Men are. I'm going to show you an example of men creating women in urban culture anyway. You ready? But before I show you the picture, I'll give you an example. Spitting is not ladylike. Women did not come up with that. Men did. You know that, right? Image and glamour, also a creation of men. We'll get into that in a second, right? When goddess worship fell, women being in control of their image and likeness also fell. Let me give you an example of men creating women. Why would a man dress up and represent this type of woman? Now, when this show came out, Claire Huxtable, that image did exist. Out of all the images that the man can create, why go here? Why would the man go here and create this image? Now, if you've been following me for a minute, you understand that what we create in art becomes our reality. It opens up a timeline, right? What we create in art, it opens up a timeline. Why would man create this? Out of all images. Now, Claire Huxtable was on TV. Men could go there. Why create this? Right? Men created the thought. Men created all the derogatory terms that we know to women about women because men have been in control of women's images. Same character. This is the same character. This is the same. What's the difference between this and this? So I'm just speaking for the black male specifically. If you give the black male a dress and tell him to act like a woman, he's going to do this right here. Why? Why? Betty Shabazz was a real person. Coretta Scott King was a real person. Shirley Chisholm was a real person. Condoleezza Rice is a real person. Why does the black male specifically go here? Why create this image? This hoochie mama? This woman of a low class? Why go here? We're going to talk about that in a second of men loving the things that they hate. You hate this image, but you create this image. You put this image on TV. There's no difference between this image and this image. It's the same image. It's the same person. And then when the culture takes on these characters for real, then you say that the woman is the reason why the community is at the bottom. But when you got that skirt on, you go here. You don't say, you know what? Let me show women how they're supposed to act and they're supposed to behave. No, no, no. You go here. Men create women. In these male spaces, y'all claim that the women been dragging the man for 30, 40 years. Y'all skip over this shit right here. Imagery is very, very, very powerful. Right? Now, the men took these images away from the public. Right? This is 40,000-year-old art. Right? Goddess worship. Right? The man pretty much erased this from history. And now the man creates female nature. So when you hear the podcasters or the talking heads talk about women's nature, women's nature, women's nature, you've never actually dealt with a natural woman. The natural woman hasn't existed for 2,000 years since the rise of the Abrahamic religions. Men create women. And what's happening is women are starting to really bother men because what men have thought about women is not so. Because now women are stepping into their natural state and men can't handle that shit. It is a problem. It is throwing things off. But again, things have a way of balancing themselves out. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Nature will correct itself. And with these images not in circulation, that was incorrect. With people not knowing about the ancient goddess, that's incorrect. Same image. Now, this is not a coincidence. How come? All right, fine. The black man dresses up as a woman, right? Fine. How come it's always this though? Why you go here? Why you go here? Why do you go here? Why do you create this type of woman in your art? What is it about these images? Y'all created the thought. Y'all created the hoochie. Y'all created the strag. Everything that you dislike about women, y'all created it. Again, Mary McLeod was a real person, right? Angela Davis was a real person. Assata Shakur was a real person. Where is those women at in these representations? Why go here? Now remember, you're the man, you're the leader, because you destroyed all the ancient female gods and you replaced the female gods with the male gods. So now you are the leader. So this is all of your responsibility. The thing about the leader, right? Anything that happens on your watch is your fault. You're the leader, right? You control this shit. So this is the images that you put out about women. It just doesn't happen on the urban market though. It happens in the white world too. The men who shaped the beauty industry. The beauty industry is widely viewed as a female occupation. While this is part true, the number of men taking up beauty jobs and enrolling in beauty schools has been increasing lately. Although there are many women who have shaped the industry, there are also men who did their part in shaping the industry. Eugene Rummel. You've heard me talk about him before. I'm going to talk about him again. Eugene Rummel, starting as an apprentice performer at the House of Rummel, his father's perfumery. Eugene Rummel grew to be an accomplished perfumer and visionary in cosmetics. He came up with soap, mouth rinse, and pomades, which were famous in high society London. Following his death, his sons took the company international with a line of makeup, which included the famous mascara. The popular lust sweeping lashes that we see today are an invention accredited to him. That's Eugene Rummel. Didn't I just say that men create women? I'm not joking. Why is it so easy for a man to transition to a female? I mean, very easy. Why? Because the dark psychology of women actually exists in the mind of a man. This is very interesting. There is a dark psychology of women, of a woman, that exists in the man. The shadow side of females exists in men. Don't get it twisted, because you got to understand something. When phallic worship took the place of this, what type of mindset were the men in? They made it so that the female will never have a place at the top ever again. Again, check out the book Phallic Worship. This is phallic worship. This is the penis. This is phallic worship. This is the penis. So the black male just is not the only one that creates a woman. The white male creates the woman too. This is Eugene Rummel. He created eyelashes and perfumes and soaps for women. Why? So they can smell a certain type of way to men, taking the woman out of the natural state. That is not how a woman really smells. Mascara is not the natural look of a woman. The modern man has never dealt with a natural woman, because the dark psychology of men don't deal with natural women. They deal with the production that is created by men. Max Factor is known for his work in Hollywood, which saw him rise to considerable fame with this ideal of color harmony. He perceived that specific color combinations of cosmetic should be based on complexion, hair, and eye color. He introduced the public to eyebrow pencils and eyeshadow. Didn't I say that men create women? At first, it sounds like a pander, right? But I read, and I know how to go get the facts. The man created the eyebrow pencil and eyeshadow. 4 years later, he launched a full line of cosmetics using the name makeup for them. In 1928, he came up with lip gloss, then known as lip pomade, and later introduced the commercial foundation. The man created lip gloss. Men been in women's business. This is Max Factor. He's creating the woman. In creating the woman, it throws everything off. It actually ruins the psychology of males, because once we hit a point where the male can no longer create the woman and have control over his creation, the male will go crazy. And that's what's happening now. When the women are saying they are independent, in a man's mind, the creation is running away from the creator. Now, my name is Body Bag Ken. Body Bag Ken. Straight up. What dude you ever heard say, men create women with a straight face? And I'm standing on that. Men created women. Look, this is men creating women now. This man created lip gloss. The man created lashes. This is why they can tell you what femininity is, because men created it. When the ancient forms of goddess worship fell, it was replaced with phallic worship. And with that creation was the total dominance of the woman, her mind, her body, and her image. So the woman does not have say-so over her own nature. What she really is. It's so ill because you'll hear women say, "Oh, we're like this," and men will be like, "No, that's not true. You're lying." No. You're lying. That's not who you really are. Women could be like, I can have sex without emotional attachments. Nope, that's cap. No, you can't. Women are like, I like blue. No, you don't. You like purple. Because the male cannot fathom that the woman has a mind outside of his. Because with the creation of phallic worship, the woman is owned by the man. Her mindset, her imagery, her body, her origin story, everything goes through the male. Now, we already read the article about that goddess worship was at least 200,000 years old. Look at the men creating women. Look at the men creating women. Why would you do this? This makes no sense. Now, the interesting thing is, though, when the white male creates a woman and the black male creates a woman, they look different. The black male creates the woman at this low class level. Look at what the black male creates with the image. Look at what Max Factor is doing. He's creating something that is sexually attracted to him. He's creating what he would like to be, or what he would like to have desire over. Look at the black male. It's very interesting in the psychology right now. The white male is creating lashes, perfumes, soaps, mascara, right? So the woman is desirable to the male. That's still twisted psychology, but peep it though. When the black male creates the woman, he creates this. He creates this. Very interesting in the psychologies though. The white male is creating glamour. He would like the woman to live in an unnatural world, in a false world. This is the creation of femininity. Femininity, in the way that we talk about it, has nothing to do with nature. Femininity is a production, a walk, a way a person sits, the tone of voice, image. So for the white male, he likes his woman to live in a false world. The black male likes his woman to live in the dumpster. They are both creating based on their own psychology, though. The European man is masters of the false world. You know, Las Vegas, television, advertisements. That's not real, right? He's creating based on his psychology and superimposing it on the woman. He takes the woman out of the natural state and puts the woman in glamour, which is unnatural, puts the woman in soap, which is unnatural. Right? They're both creating the woman, just with different psychologies. The white male, Eugene Rummel, Max Factor, create the woman and stick her in the world of the unnatural. The black male creates the woman in dysfunction. Am I lying? Am I lying? This is on full display. This is 3 different people on 3 different programs. Same image. The black male always goes here with his psychology of the woman. Inside of the black male is the divine thought. The thought is the creation that comes out of the black male mind. The divine thought is something that lives inside of the black male. The divine thought. So both the white and black male create women. They create in different psychologies, though. Right? The dysfunctional thought is what the black male is on the inside. I know this because when it's time to be a woman, this is who you go to. Huh. Uh-huh. All right. Lawrence Gelb. Lawrence Gelb is responsible for Clairol, which is famous for bringing vibrant color to every woman's hair. Here we go again. Men creating women. He went on a famous search in Europe for a product to bring back home. He found a hair coloring product that penetrated the hair shaft, resulting in smoother and more natural color. Initially, coloring hair was a 5-step process, but in 1950, Lawrence purchased the formula and improved the product, making hair coloring a 1-step process. The product was a wild hit and increased salon appointments to over 500%. His inventions led to the formation of the Does She or Does She Not, or Does She or Doesn't She marketing campaign. Men creating women. Men creating women. Now understand, this is not to put down the male. They are just following the trend that started a couple thousand years ago of the unbalance. Now, you got to understand, when goddess worship was replaced with phallic worship is also homoeroticism. Those that replaced the mother goddess replaced her and instilled homoeroticism. That's why it's bros before hoes. That's why it's always this man thing and put the woman down. Phallic worship is homoerotic. Huh. Many of the Greeks thought it was virtuous for man to lie with man. Many Europeans thought it was unclean to sleep with a woman. When they destroyed these images, they just didn't destroy the history. They replaced these images with this. This is a penis. All world religions are male dominated. How's that possible? How is the devil even a man? Lucifer is even a man. You got Adam, you got Jesus, you got the prophets. Where's the women? This is history. This is herstory. This is history. This is history. This is history. Eugene Rummel is history. Max Factor is history. Clariol is history. This is all history. This is not herstory. This is not balanced. And now many males are losing their shit because women are fighting for her story. Now the fight is not balanced though. It's going to come out very let's just say it's going to be messy at first. But the messiness is based on a correction. Did I tell you, by the way, that my name is Body Bag Ken? Timeless builds Ken. Goddamn, my nigga Ken. I can't lie. Nobody be talking like you, Ken. Take him to church, Ken. Go ahead and grab that old ass fan at your mama church that had Martin Luther King on it and wave it at me, please. Get that old ass fan, please. Charles Revson. Charles Revson teamed up with his brother, Charles Lockman, to create Revlon. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that Revlon was created by guys? He was a CEO and chief salesman and had a sharp eye for subtle color differences. He was involved in every aspect from production to testing to selling. He even tested products on himself. After World War II came with a largely successful line of matching lip and nail shades. After World War II, he came up with a successful line, basically. Modern day contributors include Antonio Sabra and Natura. The beauty industry is still expanding. Okay, cool. Charles Revson. We produce cosmetics in factories and sell hope in magazines. So it's so interesting that the modern male talks about the woman being unnatural. If you have an issue with the unnatural woman, then you need to talk to your male counterparts, because it is your male counterparts that created the unnatural woman. You don't even know what a woman really smells like. The male created the scents. The male created lip gloss. The male created eyelashes. The divine thought. The sacred hoochie. the mother of the projects, the trap queen. Created by men. Y'all don't want the women y'all say y'all want, because if you did, you would dissolve the language controlling these frequencies. You don't want those women. You want your homeboy. You want to put a wig on the bros. Statistics, data, and who's going to get married and that. Still, the man controlling the woman. You want the hoochie. Just stop playing and go with your nigga. Stop playing. We in a whole different world now. You'll be accepted, man, because you don't want women. You don't want the natural woman. You want what you created. You want ladylike. Just tell your homie, put the wig on. Put the nails on. Oh, y'all too emotional. Why do y'all act like anger is not an emotion? When you slam a door, that's emotion. Oh, you passionate. That's emotion. Yeah, y'all always crying and shit. Sir, anger is an emotion. Y'all act hella emotional. When you punch a hole in a wall, that's emotion. Just tell your homeboy to put the wig on, fam. Like I said, all of this is homoerotic anyway. You know, playing on the sports team, tap your partner on the butt. Like, why there? Why there? Why not go to the shoulder? I see you, bruh. Why on the ass? Hit that beauty supply, fam, and get that lace front and put it on your man. Put it on, bro. And because y'all don't fuck with the women, it's an unbalance. You say a woman look nice, Sam. What? Y'all said protect Kevin Samuels at all costs. What you call that? You don't even know that nigga. But I see a woman walking, hey, Miss Lady, your hair look nice. Hey, you simp. But protect that man at all costs. That man, though? Really? Really? But that man has all the feminine qualities y'all say y'all like. My nigga is sassy. When he talks to women, it sounds like girl talk. But y'all hate the women, though? And guess who suffers? The children suffer because they don't know the truth. The world is about balance. The world is about polarity. If all your gods are male and they're jealous gods and they're vengeful gods and they're always sending someone to hell, like, y'all don't find something wrong with that? But I understand the allegiance to it is because it is pro-man. It's not that you love God. You love your position in the story. You don't give a damn about the God. You like your position. Wives, submit to your husbands. You like that. But if you woke up and God was a woman like it was before, but you found out that it was balanced in the story, you'd be an atheist. This is her story. But not only is it her story, it's our story. It's our story. The story of humanity. The homoerotic male twisted psychology has put us in a state of fight or flight every single day. Has put us in a state where objects mean more than people. Property means more than people. We don't even walk with our feet touching the soil. No connection to the earth, no connection to the planet, no connection to animals. We have become unnatural to the planet. But shit, if you could get the big piece of chicken out the deal, you ain't tripping. You focused on that big piece of chicken. You don't give a damn about nothing else but that chicken. This is our story. This is not pander. This is the story of humanity. Not what I believe. They find this stuff in the ground. Then they take it away from they take it away from study because it doesn't fit the narrative. Don't choose that big piece of chicken over the truth, man. The woman will make you a sandwich. You can still get top and bottom with balance. What are you scared of? You can still get everything with balance. You can still get the chicken. You can still get the top and bottom. You can still get the massages. Man, don't sell your soul for that thigh, man, that big piece of chicken, man. To sit in that chair at dinner time. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul, beloved. Come back home. Because the homoerotic male is even bad for you. And because men have controlled women, you have not seen past something that your counterparts have created. This concept of femininity. Men create femininity. I need y'all to say it with me in the chat. Who creates femininity? Men, not women. Women weren't part of the story. Remember, the female gods fell and was replaced by the phallic. So the woman didn't write books. What she thought was not included in the story. And those that had the Bible and Quran, as it began to spread to indigenous cultures, they dismantled the cultures. They put the man on top of the woman based on Abrahamic religions, the gods of Mesopotamia, right? And now the male is actually suffering because glamour is actually killing the male. What is glamour? Glamour, magic, enchantment. Spell. In any sort of scholarship, especially occult learning, interesting stuff. Magical beauty, alluring. This is glamour. This is men selling beauty to other men, confusing the males what a woman actually is. So when you see the woman without a wig, without a makeup, you cannot stand it. You don't want a natural woman. You don't want a natural woman for real. The woman can't even take her wig off. She can't even take her makeup off. That's not what you want. The male has controlled the woman's image. This is glamour. And now it is to the detriment of other men, that other men cannot handle the woman in her natural state. Remember, let's rewind. Let's rewind. The goddess falls, right? This is 40,000 years old, right? The goddess falls. The goddess falls, right? It is replaced with the phallic. Okay? Here's a book right here called Phallic Worship. Screenshot that. Put that in your life, right? The homoerotic male went to war with the woman, because best believe this is a war, and replaced the balance with the phallic. And now you have the European male, and oftentimes the melanated male, they do the same thing. Remember, the European male, he creates the unnatural woman based on soaps, based on scent and perfume. This is Max Factor. He brings the woman into the unnatural because the male would like an unnatural sexual connection, right? The black male creates the divine thought. The white male brings the woman into what he calls civilized behavior. He wants her to behave a certain type of way. The black male creates the trap queen. If you in Miami, she's twerking on Collins. She cannot keep her tongue in her mouth when she takes pictures. Yeah. All of her pictures are from the side, right? Because the black male in the psychology has an inner thought that is extremely broken and extremely psychotic. And when he gets a skirt or a dress, he's going to create this image right here, guaranteed. The black male has never, ever created Claire Huxtable when he's in a skirt. Never. Never. He goes here. Because deep inside of the black male, I don't know if it's the inner child, but there is an extreme dysfunction. And that is where the sacred hoochie mama, the divine thought lives. And it expresses itself every time the black male puts a skirt on. This is a problem. Now, the interesting thing, niggas love Shahrazad Ali, but why y'all never dress up like her? Why y'all never dress up like Shahrazad Ali? Ever. The black male must initiate himself out of the thought. He has crackhead Keisha inside of his subconscious. He has Trap Queen Brenda inside of his subconscious. He got Heroin Shannon in his subconscious, and it displays itself all the time when he get that skirt. I ain't never seen you niggas dress up like Shahrazad Ali. Ever. Ever. And the white male in his subconscious creating pretty much the beauty industry as we know it. Eugene Rummel, Max Factor, you see him creating the unnatural woman. The white male creates the woman for sexual desires. He creates what he wants to have sex with. Right? Clairol, that's male. Charles Revlon, this is Revson, this is Revlon. We produce cosmetics in factories and sell hope in magazines. Glamour. Magic, enchantment. Spell. Very, very, very interesting. This is glamour right here. This is glamour. This is what glamour looks like. This is the unnatural woman. Right? So that the male cannot deal with this woman outside of this space right here. She has to like this. She has to look like this. She has to come like this. Glamour hides the woman's humanity. Men can't see behind the glam. This is what men are attracted to, but what they are not attracted to is the human. They don't want the human. They want the glam. You can take this image and put it on a pig and men gon' dig. You don't want the person. You want the glam. But we just seen what glamour is. Magic, enchantment, magical beauty, alluring, charm. A quality of attractiveness, especially associated with Hollywood, high fashion. This is glamour. Now, here's what men don't understand about glamour. Glamour allows the woman to hide her shadow self because you don't see her for who she is. You only see the glamour. And then you complain when you have a baby with her and you are online crying. Child support, blah, blah, blah. You didn't give a damn about the person. You cared about the glam. This is a form of witchcraft. A woman can hide her shadow nature from you. You won't even listen to her telling who she really is because of the glam. But men created the glam. What is her core values? You don't know. What does she want to be in life? You don't know. Glam. You don't actually want the woman. You want the glam. This is why you should take this makeup and just put it on your homeboy. Put it on your nigga. Glam could go on anything. You don't want the woman. You want the glam, yo. Because when the woman does human shit, you lose your mind. You can accept every disgusting behavior, every dysfunction, everything about the male and extend the male grace. But let the woman burp. You can accept the killer male. You can accept the ambition and greedy male. You can accept the male that puts capitalism over the environment. You can accept the male that puts people in jail. You can accept the male that slaves people. You extend every male grace, but let the woman birth. Let the woman do a behavior that the man actually does too, and you lose your fucking mind. Do you know why? It's because you don't see the woman as a human. You see the woman as an other. The woman isn't it. She's a thing. Do you know why you see her like that? Because you have hid the truth for 2,000 years about the woman's role in humanity. The woman does not come from no damn Eve. That's history. That is not her story. Her story has no human origins. This is 40,000 years old. 40,000 years old. 40,000 years old. And I've never heard Fresh and Fit talk about this. Those are natural titties. History tells women to put the clothes on. Her story takes the clothes off. History tells the woman if you practice sexual discipline, somehow you have value. Her story is about the sacred whore. In her story, all the men of the tribe slept with the women. So when the baby was born, no one knew who the child belonged to. That's the real definition of it takes a village. With the rise of agriculture and monotheism, as the last ice age was ending, that is the rise of monogamy. But it's also attached to the rise of monotheism. And polytheistic religions begin to die. Goddess worship begin to die. Balance and harmony begin to die in exchange for the phallic. The mother was missing. Even the devil is a man in history. This doesn't put the woman over the man, it puts us in balance. The male wasn't less than 40,000 years ago. We're teammates. Yin and yang, up and down, left and right. Two sides of the same damn quarter. With history, it's male on one side of the quarter and male on the other side of the quarter. That is gay. And I'm not talking about sexual preference. I'm talking about a different type of yeah. Now, this glamour is so ill that the person on the left can become a whole Ethiopian woman. This glamour is so powerful that this white girl from Kansas is Naomi Campbell on the right with the power of glam. Glamour is going to be the death of the male. You're going to continue to marry and continue to have children with women that you don't even have anything in common with, that don't even give a damn about you. Because what you don't understand about what you call femininity is, first of all, it's not real. Second of all, that is just a switch the woman can click on. It is a role. Oh, you like that? Cool, I'm going to be that for your money. Why do you think they could click it on and off? Man, she changed. That's because you seen what you wanted to see. Max factor. You see whatever you want to see because of something going on in your own psychology. You create the thoughts that you say you hate. She my tramp queen when the band's gone. And I'm behind for my baby. I'll be cooking pies, smoking pies for my baby. Yeah. Y'all like that shit. You don't want these women righteous. You want them like Medea. You don't really want these women abstinent. You don't. You created the world that you actually want. Then you turn right around and create stats, data, and talking points to condemn what you created. I say and I say again that men create women. Women have not had control of their image or their ideals or their body since this. See, you can't argue with this right here. Every time they dig, they find something about the woman. And when they find the story, she doesn't live within a curse. She doesn't live within a world where the gods are upset with her. That is history. There's a reason why the homoerotic male had to bring this image down, right? The reason is of female sexuality. Female sexuality terrifies men. See, what history has taught us is that sex is for reproduction. Then explain the clitoris. The clitoris plays no role in reproduction. It is purely for pleasure. Phallic worship has told us that the only purpose for a woman is basically to give birth to a male heir. And if you give birth to a female, then we're going to use her as leverage to get power from another male that wants her. The reason why, you notice all these images, they're naked. The reason why it's important to destroy 200,000 years of history is because of women's sexuality. And even women have bought into history. Oh no, I'm no, I have emotions when I have sex. Why does your pussy stay wet when he's done? By the time the average male is finished, most women are just getting comfortable, ready to start. I'm not saying that to cap. I'm saying in our primal, ancient way, the ancient whore was used to multiple partners. When the Jesuits came to America, when the missionaries came to America, they found the natives, the way that the natives were living, as barbaric. Okay? Because the women would have multiple sex partners. And the Jesuit or the missionary thought that as abominable. Because in their culture, sleeping with women is dirty anyway. So by the time the missionaries left Central America, South America, North America, even Africa, the man was over the woman. Even to this day. The thing about phallic worship, there is a homosexual cult that we keep hearing little rumors about. Yeah. When you think about like a fraternity hazing, that's all sexual. That's all phallic worship. See, real initiation is man versus nature. Not you getting paddled. Not you getting put in a coffin. Not your leg getting raised. Not a rope tied around your waist and drug across sand. Initiation is you versus nature. Prove yourself against the element. And if you come back, you are worthy. Phallic worship initiation is homoerotic. You see, the balance is off. It's off. And it affects everybody. So when modern men don't get upset about if your money is not up, why certain women don't like you, you got to blame men for that. Men created that. Whatever they're calling hypergamy, men created that. First off, nobody's more hypergamous than a dude. Let's be real here. All we got to do is go to any club and watch Floyd Mayweather walk in. Who's going to run to that nigga? If hypergamy was a real thing, the black community would not have all these babies. But the male created that structure. The male created the structure of a woman not liking you for you. You don't hear these rappers keep calling other men broke? Go get it, I'll buy it. Tell the mother broke joker be quiet. Stacks on deck, Patron on ice. You can pop bottles, you can have whatever you like. Tell them broke men be quiet. That's men waging war on other men. So the women fall in line. Y'all said don't date no broke men. Y'all said don't pick a guy just for who he is. Listen to the rap songs. Dudes shitting on dudes about their economic status. That's not women. Then when you go behind some of these city girl records, men wrote it. Lil Yachty wrote the song. Men create women. Don't blame the women when you say, man, these women only like me for money. The songs are all talking about broke men. Men are saying this. Tell them broke joker be quiet. It ain't tricking if you got it. It's chump change, mama. Check this out. The game is so cold that if you got a girlfriend, right, and say you young and you want to come up, you don't got your money straight. You building, right? A dude will get at your girl and tell her to leave you. Because I could take care of you. Why you with him for? This is how niggas be talking. Why you with him for? Why you like him for? I could do you better. Based on what? The man puts in, though, corrupts that woman's mind. Yeah, why you with him for? I could do you way better. You need to be with me. Drop that zero and get with a hero. Choose up on the real. Come on, man. She might not even be that type of girl and like you for you. But a dude is gonna pull up on her and call you all type of brokes and tell your chick that she need to leave you and then entice her with money. Men create women, which you don't understand. We don't even know what the hell a natural woman even looks like. We don't even know what a natural woman even thinks. We don't know how a natural woman smells because our entire world is controlled by the homoerotic male. One male is creating the unnatural woman with makeup and glamour and beauty and smell. The other one is creating the mother of thoughts. Both males. There is no difference between the white male and the black male. They have the same psychology. They both create the woman in the unnatural state. Shanae. Oh my goodness. Don't make me call LaFons. This the old hoe right here. Look, young hoe, old hoe. What's the common theme? Men are playing the character. Come on, man. If we don't get back to this as we go into the digital age, we are done. Balance. We all play a role. Nobody's over nobody. We all need air. We all need water. We all need shelter. We all need sunlight. We all need attention from each other, right? Ain't nobody better than nobody. That woman go in that casket, that man go in that casket. Both go back to the dirt. So who's who? Y'all judge what's equal and unequal by the way something looks. History. History. Glamour. And this glamour is killing the male. You can't tell what's what. Then you want to harm the woman when she shows that she is just like the male. When she comes out of glamour and you find out the truth. The female is a species. The female has hunger. The female, listen to this. The female thinks. See, y'all equate what y'all call woman's emotion as a weakness. That's part of her intelligence. You look at that and you deem the woman weak. This is how smart women are. They allow you to think that shit. See, Ken Billion knows the true nature of the woman. I know the woman is filthy. I know the woman is nasty. I know the woman is strategic. I know the woman is planning and cunning. She plays a game on y'all, but comes to Ken Billions and tells me the truth. I know all the body counts. I get the true answer. I know all the whole stories. I get the true answers. And some of the things that I've heard, yeah, you would pass out if you knew the full truth of women. See, I know past the glamour. I know about the species. And I'm going to tell you this. You have no clue about women's sexuality. None. They can't even show you the shit because they want to keep the crib and the car and the shit that you buy. But if I get a hold of her, let me tell you how it is with Ken, right? If a woman get a dude, right? If a woman gets a dude, do you know I don't count as a male friend? I'm a other. Oh, that's Ken. I go with them through every relationship. I'm like the ace in the hole. Now we might not talk for years and years and years, right? I don't count. I'm something else. I'm the guy that a woman keeps in her back pocket because I'm the difference, right? So even if she fucks on me, it doesn't count as quote cheating. Oh, that's Ken. You see? It doesn't even count. Because what she's able to get off with me, she can't get off with you. What she's able to tell me, she cannot tell you. So she gonna keep her home in order, right? But trust and believe, Ken's number is somewhere. I don't count. I'm different. Oh yeah, that's Ken. I travel. I travel. I'm in all the relationships. Trust me. Every relationship the woman is in, I'm somewhere. That's the truth. You don't like it? That's the truth. You know why the woman is able to do that? Because she's just like you. She's just like you. That's why the woman is able to operate like that. Let me tell you something. See, y'all deal with the woman in the glamour space, right? The glamour is also the wifey app. The wifey app is not when she does her best hoeing. She does her best hoeing in the homie app. She does not do her best hoeing in the wifey app because you take the whore from her. So you don't see her like that, especially if she has the baby. See, you think her being a mother, it overlaps into her sexual behavior. It doesn't. They're not the same. Huh. You see, you don't know what the woman thinks when she's ovulating. You don't even know what the kind of sex that she wants when she's ovulating, right? Opposed to regular, right? A lot of women, when they're ovulating, you know how the men say, women just want bad boys. Sometimes when they're ovulating, you know why? Because she just want to get pounded out with nothing attached to it. See, when you understand a person's humanity, you understand the wiring of the species. That does not mean she's not a good daughter or a good mother or a good friend. It just means she's part of a species that hormonally some days you want to get treated like a or. But let me stop telling you all my women game. I'm gonna let you think I'm pandering and I'm okay, cool. Cool. You need to ask me because I got the key to unlock your baby. You need to, I just look like this. Yeah, all right. I'm pandering. Yeah, okay. I'm pandering. All right. But if your lady was feeling down and we could lock in for a whole weekend, I bet by the time she comes back to the crib, she is skipping and jumping. She gonna be on you. She gonna be loving on you. You're gonna be like, damn, what's up with you? She just wanted to be a damn person. That's it. Just like you. See, now if I reverse this shit, right? And I say that your homeboy keep a girl in the tuck through every relationship, it don't matter, blah, blah, blah. You would extend grace. You get it. See, you can understand your homeboy having that kind of setup. You couldn't fathom a woman being like that. And you know what? You know what? They're going to keep allowing you to think that, and they're going to hide behind the glamour. Because a lot of you are providers. Let me tell you, this is how smart the woman is. Okay, I'll hide my humanity if you keep bringing shit in the house. Sure. That whole gun come out though, some way, somehow. You trust and believe it. The human is gonna come out. Hold on. Let me go to glamour. Glamour is magic, enchantment, magical beauty, alluring, charm. That is not the woman. That is the woman that y'all want to see. The brain can't differentiate what's real and what's fake. The initiation for the male in modern times, the initiation for you is to see the woman in her proper place. I'm telling you, there's nothing more empowering because nothing will have power over you. But as long as you can only see the woman glamour, she will always have power over you. You'll always be violent to her. You'll always want to hurt because you need to control that womb. I don't want to control the womb. And it hits so different if the woman gives you it, right, with her choice. Many of you have never had a woman, quote, be monogamous to you with choice, with nothing on it. She wants to do that. She doesn't have to do that. Many of you are in relationships where a woman has to do that because women come from nothing, a lot of them, and they want to level up and to come up. So they'll freeze that box, right, to get them shoes and to get that food. But when she gets her weight up and when she starts returning back to herself, the identity that she lost being in a relationship, she gonna call Ken. This is how powerful glamour is. That a whole white woman can be a Ethiopian chick. So y'all don't even know what y'all looking at. The Kardashian women have completely become unnatural, and y'all love that shit. They do not got a problem getting no black men. Glamour. This is how powerful glamour is. Glamour is so powerful that a whole white woman is a East African chick. So y'all don't even know what you're looking at. This is how many men are getting trapped with trans women. Because you don't know what you're looking at. Y'all talking about the woman, the Supreme Court judge. Y'all throwing shade because she ain't answered the question, what is a woman? You don't even know what a woman is. The only thing you can assign a woman is childbirth. You don't know what a woman is because you've never dealt with a natural woman. Do you know why? Eugene Rummel created eyelashes, perfumes, and soap to cover the scent of a woman. Max Factor created lip gloss. He dealt with women's coloring. This is unnatural. Clariol, unnatural for women to color their hair. Charles Revlon, same thing. This is all because of men. You've never dealt with a natural woman. You can be laid up with a whole man and you wouldn't even know it. Because you don't know what a woman is. Oh, childbirth, birth. That's it. But if I say, what is a man? You'll be like, man, ambitious, adventurous, strong, determined. You got all this grace. That's what the word is. It's grace. You got grace for men. You don't got no grace for women. But I understand. I don't blame you. It's the fall of the mother. It's the fall. Kevin Samuels, you don't know if that was a dude. I'm not saying it was a guy in his bed, but you damn sure gave grace. Nah, I wasn't like that. Pictures of him as a cheerleader. Nah. Child support. Nah. No matter what happens, grace. You know why? No shade to him. I'm talking about the bro code. Phallic worship. Phallic worship. Color. So what these men are doing in the beauty industry, when they're coloring the woman, the etymology of the word color, you see one of the words is to hide and conceal. When you color the woman, you hide who she really is. And the woman's intelligence is different than yours. She adapts. Once she sees you like that shit, she's going to manipulate you. You don't know the dark side of the woman because you interpret her tears as weakness. It's a form of intelligence. You interpret the male's anger as strength. You don't interpret a man being angry as being weak. You interpret it with strength. Again, grace. You give the man grace. You don't give the woman grace. But you color the woman and it hides who she really is. A lot of y'all men are getting so played and you don't know it. The woman knows how to survive better than you. Now, modern women are so cold that they want the baby without the man. They want the wedding without the man. Y'all need to sit with that for a second. All they want is their babies and they're straight. They don't want the man. They want the wedding. They use the man to get the wedding, but they don't want the man though. Do you know why that can happen? Color. This is color. That's not who she is though. She has a shadow side. She has the dark side. The same shadow side you give your male counterparts in grace, the woman also has a shadow side that is just like yours. And some of them are trying to tell you about that shadow side. And you know what you say? But yeah, no man is gonna take you serious, and you're disqualified from. Let me tell you, them talking points are so funny because all the woman has to do is and answer one of her DMs, just like that. Y'all elevate what you think a man is a little too much. Unless you're sleeping with men, you don't know men. You don't know men. You don't know men better than women do. In that bedroom, women find out who men are. Women know men's secrets. You don't know your homeboy better than a woman. You don't hear me though. You don't hear me though. Color. See, glamour? Glamour is magic and enchantment and spells, right? Look at color. Conceal, to cover, save, right? Look at this. Glamour, cover. This is not this is a representative right here. This is a representative. The wise man is able to see past the representative and go into core values. The wise man initiates himself so a woman's beauty has no bearing on his decision making. Men are making lifetime decisions based on glamour and color. I'm talking shit, but I'm saving you niggas' lives. You got to look past this. This is not real. This is not real. But you don't know the world of women. The reason why I know it's not real is because I'm privy to I got some of the I've met some of the coldest pieces, right? And their code switch game is so ill. How they talk to me and then they talk to other men, totally different chick. Y'all don't think that's intelligence though. That is super intelligent. I better stop sleeping on women, man. Listen to exactly what I'm saying. I'm trying to save your life, sir. Look past the imagery, right? Look past the color. I have a question. Are women human? Because even I said a few times about women's humanity. But are women human though? Are they? What do y'all think? Are women human? Are they something else? Are women human? Sounds funny, right? But I'm dead ass. Are women human? Human, the etymology, mid 15th century word. Let's see. Humane, hamanji, human, from Old French humane, human, of or belonging to man. from Latin, humus, of man, humane, philanthropic, kind, gentle, polite. Learn, refined, civilized. Earthling, being, right? If you look down, you'll see Adama, ground, right? Hebrew Adam, man, right? Are women human? Man, Adama, right? Let's go to etymology. Woman, adult female human, right? Literally woman, man, right? Withman, wifeman, woman, female servant, a compound of withman, wife, right? Human being, right? Wife, literally woman, man, right? Show me where you see woman and human. Show me. What you do see at the bottom, though, is man, male person, right? Show me where you see woman and human. There is no mention of female. At the bottom, it says man, male person, Adam, Adama, ground, earthling, earthly being. Are women human? This word is from the 15th century. And when the word was being developed, females was not associated with human. Ha. Are women human? Right? Woman. A female adult human, right? Old English. Women. What you'll see with the word woman is with, right? With, right? Because wife and woman was interchangeable at the time. All wife means is woman, right? Now, the word woman is exclusively attached to man. So in the creation of the language, there was no independence of the man. The woman comes through the man. When I go to human, though, you don't see no mention of the woman, but you do see a mention of man. Wife. Woman means wife. Woman, man, literally. That's what it says. With, right? In phallic worship, this is phallic worship, there's no existence of woman without man. This is why you're not in the definition of human. The sole purpose in phallic worship and the creation of woman is through man. Here's the problem with that. These carvings and this art is older than all man shit. That's why the balance is messed up, right? Religious belief and paleontology and archaeology and anthropology tell a different story than the religious beliefs. 15th century, human, right? So the word human is what? 600 years old, right? Woman is not included. So technically, a woman was not considered a human. Look at the very bottom. It says man, male person. Woman is not associated. The creation of the word woman is tied to man, wife. It doesn't describe nothing. It doesn't say size, hair. It doesn't say anything. It's closely related to the relationship to a man. When I said that the woman hasn't told her story, this is true. The woman wasn't associated or part of this language. Notice, it is notable that it was thought necessary to join with a neuter noun representing a female person to man. Let's go back to human. So my question was, is the woman a human? Technically, no. It's not Ken saying this. I just happen to read. I just happen to be into this kind of shit. And even though it will go against my male thinking, truth is truth. With the fall of this and the rise of phallic worship, the woman was completely taken out of the human story. So much so that when they're developing the definitions and the etymology of human, the woman is not even associated with it. So no, the woman is not human. Not to the man, right? Because how can another human tell another human that's my pussy? That's how you talk to objects, right? That's my body. That's my woman. Your only purpose is to man. You have no purpose. That's based on the phallic worship story. You have no purpose. Now, y'all want to think about that, right? Because as you're moving around, you are literally defining what it is to be a human in real time. Based on phallic worship, based on astrotheology, you have no story. For the men that are Christian, you're in the sun worship. No, I'm not. Yes, you are, sir. That is a solar cult. Well, I believe. I'm not talking what you believe. I'm talking what's been recorded. There's a difference. If you are into Islam, that is a lunar cult based on the moon. Judaism is based on the planet Saturn. But all of them are the Abrahamic religions, and all of them deal with the phallic. That is a penis. Osiris's penis. All set sits on the penis. Never mind. Yeah, I do that too. And out of the penis comes Horus. Do you know Horus and Jesus have the same conception story? So does Mithra. Wait, first of all, I know, man. I just look like this. I just look like this, right? I just look like this. Not all niggas just dance, right? I know a little something. I just look like this. This is called astrotheology. And then When you create the astrotheology, then you go into anthropomorphism and you assign human emotions to the gods. That's how you can be in the arms of the Lord. You assign human behavior. God loves me. Love, that's human shit. One of the flaws of men now is they don't understand power. And they see power one way, right? So men will say, we're unequal because of I'm stronger than you. Here's why women kick men's ass all the time. Is because men oftentimes don't know other forms of power. It's only this. But that's not the only form of power. Let's talk about this. Are we cooking today? Reward, expert power, referent power, coercion, legitimate power, informational power. Reward is the ability to give. Expert power, the power of knowledge. Referent power, the power bestowed upon you by others. Coercion, the ability to take. Legitimate power, the power bestowed upon you. Informational power, the power of being able to share insights. Which one of these powers do you think is man and woman? Which one of these powers do you believe is, or do you think is man and woman? Reward, coercion, expert, legitimate, referent, informational. What do y'all think, scholars? What do y'all think is man's power? And what do you think is woman's power? Anybody? Coercion, the ability to take, and legitimate power is power that males believe they have. Coercion, ability to take, and legitimate power, the power bestowed upon you. The woman's power is reward, the ability to give, right? Now, in that ability to give lies something very dark, something extremely manipulative, something very sinister. We'll get into that in a sec, right? But all these are types of power. The males only know physical power or the power bestowed upon me, like I'm entitled as the male to do specific things, right? Here's why the women can finesse the male. We'll get into that in a second, right? We'll get into that in a second. Power, right? So you got tangible assets, intangible assets. In phallic worship, cash, land, equipment, inventory, machinery, furniture, stocks, bonds, all physical power. So we're talking about other forms of power. A patent is a form of power. Trademarks, copyrights, goodwill, brand recognition, internet domains, customer lists, employment contracts. The stuff on the right is non-seen that comes into the scene, right? Let's just say men are on the left, women are on the right, right? And what we are finding out, though, is those intangible assets hold more power than the tangible assets, because I can take your land if I have paperwork for it. The land is physical. The paperwork is something we draft up. I can take your invention if I have the patent. You see? Where am I going with this? First off, seduce. to persuade a vessel to desert his allegiance or service, lead away, led astray, sexual sense. How does that tie up with this? How does it tie up with this? Seduce? Oh. Seduce? Oh. Men, you still don't know the woman's power? Seduction. I want you to look down at the screen of seduction. You're going to see treason and treachery. Now, seduce, to persuade a vessel to desert his allegiance or service. Seduce. Seduce, to persuade a vessel to desert his allegiance or service, led astray, aside away, to lead. To seduce is to lead the person astray. Glamour and color. The mistake men make is thinking that he's stronger than women. He's only concerned with the physical. Look at intangible assets. Those intangible assets hold a lot of weight. It is power, reward. The male does all this shit to get a reward from the female. She uses the glamour to seduce and lead the man astray. But y'all don't associate women with intelligence, though. But how is she in your pocket? Yeah, I'm doing this because I want to. Give it to me then. If you just feel like giving your shit away, hit my Cash App, super chat me right now. Don't just act like you into charity and philanthropy. No, you are getting seduced. You think that you're doing it with your own will. No, you're not. Glamour. Oh, you ain't gonna give it to. Oh, now you ain't fucking with the bro code now. Now you ain't gonna give me the shmoney now. Give me the shmoney. Yeah, man. I just do it because you know what I'm saying. Give it to me. No, you do it because you are being seduced. You are being led astray. And you don't know that it's power. Man, listen. 1,000 men can push and pull on this tree, but a slight breeze is going to make it move back and forth. See, you don't understand power. You can only conceive of power in the seen, but it's an unseen force that'll make this tree move back and forth. It's not a seen force. It's not an unseen force. The woman controls the man with the unseen force. You don't know the dark side of women because you caught up in the glam. An unseen force makes this strong tree sway back and forth. But if me and you and 1,000 other men push up on it, it won't move. An unseen force is pushing those waves to the shore and pulling it back. See, you don't know about women's intelligence and their power. This is how you get played, and this is how you get finessed. This is how you get played. It's because you don't know what woman's power is. It's in the unseen. Remember, she's not human. She's not human. Remember, I'm trying to save your life, my nigga. You better see past the face, sir. Remember, she's not human. Remember, human is male person, man, ground. So what is the woman? We'll get into that in a sec. See that lightning? Unseen forces are making that lightning occur. The reason why she jumps off the diving board, goes up and down, is because there's a force called gravity pulling her down. You can't see it. You cannot see the force that's making these plants grow. The reason why women control men, and the reason why you don't understand the woman's dark side, is because the woman's dark side is the same force, is of the same force that makes this tree move, this makes these ocean go, that makes the lightning come, gravity, and it makes plants grow. That is the same frequency that the woman is hooked up to. Remember, they're not human. The reason why the woman controls the man with glamour and sex is because he thinks his power is physical and he thinks the woman is weak, not knowing that the wind is the same force that the woman controlled the male with. The force of the ocean's tide is the same force the woman controls the man with. That's their space. The woman is of that world, not of this world. The lightning. Don't women talk about intuition? I just have this feeling. Mother Earth, right? So what is she hooked up with? Now, here's the thing, right? You want to think about. If the man is physically dominant, right? And the man is above the woman, like y'all say, it's what y'all say, right? And the male is the head, and the male is the lead, and the male is stronger than the woman, right? Then why does a man do this? Why would you kneel to something that you say is supposed to be submissive to you? If she is submissive to you, she's supposed to ask you for marriage. Ding dong. You kneel to powers that are greater than you. Let me say it again so I'm clear. If the man is the dominant one and the man rules over the woman and the man has ultimate control and the woman follows the man, then why is the man on the knee? Kneeling is nothing new. Why is the man kneeling to the woman? Kneeling is nothing new. You kneel to your superiors. You kneel to higher status people. Kneeling is nothing new. Kneeling is nothing new. You kneel to the gods. You kneel to the king. You kneel to the queen. Are you sure you're in charge? Wait a minute. The woman is hooked up to what makes the tree go back and forth. The woman is hooked up to what's making these waves move back and forth. The woman is hooked up to this lightning. The woman is hooked up to this gravity. The woman is hooked up to the force that we call photosynthesis. You're kneeling. Why? How is this power? Wait, to answer me this, how is this power? Where's the power? Kneeling is nothing new. How is this power? How is this power? And then you're going to go out and give the woman all the shit that you find. Are you really in charge? You don't think like this because you assume the woman unintelligent. And you process tears as weakness. You don't believe that the woman is sinister. You don't believe that the woman is cold and calculating. You don't believe that the woman wants power just like you. You don't believe that the woman's sexual behavior is just like yours. You don't believe that the woman has a shadow side. You're bowing or kneeling as if you're in control, but you're not. So now you are confronted with something that you hate to love. And nature has a way of balancing itself out. And it will, right? Total prostitution revenue worldwide. Habascope calculates that the world's prostitution revenue, by adding up the estimated market values from countries where prostitution revenue is available. The revenue estimates come from a wide range of sources such as public health programs, law enforcement initiatives, and criminal justice programs, as well as media reports. Wait, first of all, prostitution revenue, 186 billion every year. China, 73 billion every year for prostitution. Spain, 26 billion every year. Japan, 24 billion every year. Germany, 18 billion every year. Wait a minute, 14 billion. Joe Biden just sent 14 billion to Ukraine. That is the number of prostitution every year in America. But y'all don't like hoes? Y'all don't love hoes? $14 billion. Now, there's an aspect of that hoeing that is about to come and bite you in the ass. Her name is LILITH. I'll talk about that in a second. You love the prostitute. And I had to figure out why. Why does the man hate to love the prostitute? On 1 minute, y'all downing the sex worker, you're downing the whore, you're talking about marriage and blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, you're all in the IG comments, you all in their DMs, queen, queen, queen. And then I found the Sacred Prostitute. The Sacred Prostitute in the Ancient World by Catherine Ullman. It may be hard for Western minds to reconcile the world's sacred and prostitute may be linked. For the Judeo-Christian tradition holds sexuality to be profane, the antithesis of spirit. Yet in the times of the great goddess worship, what is the great goddess worship? Hold on. The great goddess worship, there it goes again. Yet in the times of the great goddess worship, sexuality was revered and held sacred. Hence, why all of them are naked. We find evidence of sacred prostitution throughout the ancient world as early as the Gilgamesh epic of 7000 BCE. Herodotus, a Greek historian from the 3rd century BCE, wrote, "Women of the land sit in the temple of love and have intercourse with some stranger. The men pass and make their choice. It matters not what the sum of money be. The women will never refuse, for that is a sin. The money being by this act made sacred. After their intercourse, she was made herself holy in the sight of the goddess." Oh, this is why the dudes are struggling with the hoe. Sacred prostitution occurred in the early civilizations of Sumer, Babylonia, Egypt, Lebanon, and Rome, and it is mentioned in the Code of Hammurabi. It seems to have been common in Europe and the Middle East prior to the rise of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. In fact, sacred prostitutes not only existed, they flourished and were held to be important members of society. What? In fact, sacred prostitutes not only existed, they flourished and were held to be important members of society. The sacred prostitutes were many in number, according to Strabo, at the temples of Aphrodite and Eryx in Corinth, where there were above 1,000, while at each of the two commonas, about 6,000 were in residence. They were accorded social status and were educated. In some cases, they remained politically and legally equal to men. That's cap, what y'all talking about, this body count. That is cap. That is cap. But what I'm showing you is the shadow side of the woman. You can't see it because you're blinded by religious beliefs and glamour. They've been hoes. You just won't let them. It's your control of the womb that is driving you crazy. You need to control a woman's pussy, and that is throwing you off. The golden age of goddess worship, in which sacred prostitution was widespread, was the age of Taurus, whose polarity and Scorpio, the two signs most commonly associated with sexuality. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and Venus as a goddess is physically beautiful and sexually appealing. She is the goddess of earthly love, sexual and sensual. The great goddess was the bringer of all that is alive, responsible for fruitfulness on the earth. Through her came new life, and sexuality was one of the mysteries of creation. Sexuality was revered and worshipped in a way we find hard to fathom today. In goddess temples, the sacred prostitutes were her priestess. Their bodies were available to share the blessings of the goddess with strangers, hungry for love and connection. In this way, sexual love was shown to be divine, of the goddess, not separate from it. Hesiod, an 8th century BCE poet, wrote, "The sensual magic of the sacred whores mellowed the behavior of men. She is the bringer of sexual joy and the vessel by which the raw animal instincts are transformed into love and lovemaking." These women were known in ancient languages as the Nugig, or the undefiled, the pure, or spotless. The sacred whore in ancient times was regarded as spotless. So what are these podcasters talking about? If the whore in ancient time was considered to be spotless, though, spotless, Tuh, spotless. This seems particularly to be the nature of Virgo, that a woman known for her beauty and sexuality would be considered pure. The priestess felt herself to be an incarnation of the Holy Spirit as she made love with the men who came to pay homage to the goddess. She was a teacher of the mysteries, of the healing and restorative power of sexual energy. Wow. That is the shadow side of the woman that you don't want to accept. Goes back to this. The woman was never dirty in sex, but because of glamour and the male control, the male, you're actually being punished for the shit that you're trying to control. Now you can't handle it. Now everything is out of whack. And there is an energy that is returning to the planet called LILITH. Now, LILITH was in your Bible. You just missed it. Now, remember when I said, is the woman human? LILITH was in the Bible. There's 2 creation stories in the beginning of Genesis. You might have missed it. You better beware of Lilith. Lilith is a very interesting character. Lilith is a very, very interesting character, right? Where do I want to start? I'm going to take the man and put him in the garden. No, let's start back here. Did I tell you my name was Body Bag Ken? In case you didn't know, my name is Ken Body Bag or Body Bag Ken, right? Because we have a lot of range, right? So let me highlight this real quick. I'm going to show you 2 different creations in the book of Genesis, right? All right. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, listen clear. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. It's important that we read very, very slow. This is Genesis chapter 1, first chapter, verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, right? Okay. He said God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. All right. That's Genesis chapter 26. Now, listen and listen close. Genesis chapter 2. Let me highlight it right here. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And God said, it's not good that the man should be alone. Hold on. How is the man alone? In the first chapter, male and female was created. It is not good that man shall be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. So God gave names to all the cattle, to all the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But Adam, there was not found a helper comparable to him. This is Genesis chapter 2. Hold up. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 again, right? Because we got to get surgical with this shit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 1 comes before 2. All right. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, to have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Listen, male and female. Then God blessed them, and God said, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on earth. Is man alone? Is he alone? So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. Do you see the difference? Let's go back to chapter 2. You see the difference? And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. But in the first chapter, he created male and female. So how is Adam alone now? Out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was the name. So Adam gave names to all the cattle, to the birds of the air, and every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helper comparable to him. But in the first chapter, he created male and female and told them to be fruitful and multiply. Pete, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took of one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man and said, this is now, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of the man. One more time. Let's go back to chapter 1. I know I can read. Am I tripping? And then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply. So why is the next chapter Adam is alone? Who is the female and who is the woman? Now remember this, everybody. Woman, wife, right? The woman has no history outside of the male. Look what woman means. It just simply means wife, woman, man. But in the first chapter, male and female was created. Who is the female and who is the woman? One is created from the dirt, and one is created in the image and the likeness of the supernatural. Who is the original person? Because the story changes. And this energy is the energy that a lot of men are feeling right now, because it is an energy. The energy that you're feeling, fellas, is Lilith. And to balance the shit back out, it's going to be messy. Someone said ours the Trinity. This is all allegory. Right? In history, it's the Trinity. After Constantine, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Where's the woman? Again, that's based on Constantine. Look at Lilith. Lilith, female demonic figure of Jewish folklore. Her name and personality are thought to be derived from the class of Mesopotamian demons called Lilu, feminine Litu, and the name is usually transcribed as night monster. A cult associated with Lilith survived among the Jews as late as 17th century CE. The evil she threatened, especially against children and women in childbirth, was said to be contracted by wearing of an amulet bearing the names of certain angels. In rabbinic literature, Lilith is variously depicted as the mother of Adam's demonic offspring following his separation from Eve, or as his first wife. Whereas Eve was created from Adam's rib, Genesis 2:22. Some accounts hold that Lilith was implied in 1:27 and was made from the same soil as Adam, insolently refusing to be subservient to her husband. Lilith left Adam and the perfection of the Garden of Eden. 3 angels tried in vain to force her to return. According to some mythologies, her demonic offspring were sired by an archangel named Samuel and were not Adam's progeny. Those children are sometimes identified as Iccubi or Succubi. In other words, succubus. Lilith would not be subservient to Adam. In chapter 3, when the woman Eve is cursed, one of her curses is to be subjugated by her husband. What you are feeling, fellas, right now in your life, in the world, you're trying to make sense of what the hell women are doing. It is an energy that is coming back to the planet. Take it or leave it. You don't have to believe me. You could call me simp. You could call me pander. All you have to do is watch. You are dealing with that Lilith energy to balance the shit out. And it's warlike and it's going to come off as messy, but that's the way that nature is. It is the Lilith that is active in all these women. The shit that you're hearing, I'm independent, I'm independent, I'm independent. That is actually the natural state of the female, independent. In the 3rd chapter, the woman who is Eve was cursed to be submissive to the man. What you're dealing with now, it has been a suppressed energy, and it's coming out like a bat out of hell, and that is the dark side of the woman. Eve was associated by taking Lilith was associated by snatching people's firstborn in vengeance. Here, that's what SIDS come from. Sudden infant death, if I'm not mistaken. folklore, that was Lilith doing that, because Lilith took vengeance upon Adam. And now Lilith is taking vengeance on you. All your podcasts, all your shaming, all that, it don't work. It don't work. That's the two creation stories, right? Right. See two things happen, right? The first wife is, or first, the female is made of the same shit as Adam. So she was saying, why should I bow to you? We are the same. The other one was made from the rib of man, right? She was made to be submissive to the man. What you are experiencing is the shadow side or the dark side of the woman right now, right? Now, I done gave you the tools. I told you about glamour. I told you about color. I told you everything, right? The way that you get in balance with Lilith is don't push her under you. If you push her under you, it's not going to work in her favor, in your favor. And I mean energetically too. Our world is unbalanced. It's very homoerotic. But for nature to balance itself out, it does it through blood. I was watching Justice League the other day and I was like, damn, Superman got them x-rays coming out of his eyes. And Batman had all these gadgets. And Wonder Woman and Flash, you know, they had these special abilities. And I was like, damn, wow, that's pretty cool. Right? But not all superheroes wear capes. Some of us just got waves. My name is Ken Billions, Body Bag Ken, Abstract Ministry, Out the Box Philosophy. This is Coin Gang, where you come in one way and you leave another. Be good to yourself and each other, man. Cash App is your friend. Super Chat is your friend. Ken Billions is your friend.
Biggest game. It's like, you know, remember we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billions' game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life, or whatever he's talking about at that certain time. And, you know, like point of reference, game for guys. You know, everybody learn game from somebody, and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listen to Game for Guys, it's like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day, and I stay studying. You know, and that's, if I look at his video and he's giving us homework, I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about black people that I never even knew about, black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak. Which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billions game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. I'm so glad that I ran across it.